Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Solo to Entrepreneur Show with me, Lorraine Chai, your host, as we talk about everything business, whether or not it's to support you, to hold you accountable, or to at least aid you towards your journey towards your business and success itself. Today, we are talking about the whole concept of branding, marketing. But the thing is, the whole concept of branding, it's beyond just the fact of websites and stuff like that. It includes not just also how you present yourself on social media and how you sound like on social media, but also how you dress up and how you present yourself in a different way in terms of the clothes that you wear. A lot of my clients tend to whinge while getting ready in the morning, saying that, "Oh my gosh, Lorraine, you're making it really difficult for me because I have to dress up." But it's more of playing the part, not just as an owner and of the authority of your business, but also giving a different side of things, right? It's allowing people to be attracted to you, but not in the wrong way. So today we are lucky to have Gretchen, who is an expert in color, and she's going to be sharing a couple of sessions that she has with me in terms of the concept of color and how it can ignite your physical appearance, should I say, or your, I don't know, Gretchen, you tell me.
Well, what it does is it actually helps you to look more vibrant and healthier, gives you a little glow, sparkle in your eye. But it also makes it easy for people to look at you and to make eye
Mm.
contact with you. Sometimes our clothes are what's distracting people from being able to talk to us without wanting to look down or look around us. So it's
Yeah,
about
and
how
it's
you
it's
empower.
everything, right? Is as
Yeah.
you said, the health part, the part if you're going on a date is it's being presentable and attractive, but not in the wrong way, but also in a business sense. I remember having that conversation with you where I told you I said that the clothes look great online, but when I wear it, it just didn't fit right. It didn't to my eyes, it didn't seem right. So that's why I have Gretchen here today. Now, if you guys are listening to this on Spotify, I would recommend you to tune in on YouTube because we're going to be looking towards the concept of color. And you definitely can't hear color, you see color. So, Gretchen, I met her in North Carolina. She's with me in Raleigh at the moment. So, Gretchen, why do people not see color as something important to them, do you think?
I think we've kind of been just taught by the fashion industry, that just the consumption, bye, it's cute. Oh, look, it's cute on her, it's cute on you. And it's just keeps us all feeling, like we need more. And then it's that disconnect from um our clothes and our personalities that we feel. And then we keep buying more. So then we start wearing more makeup. But I do think people instinctively do know what color analysis is, and they do it in other ways in their life, but we just were never taught to do it to ourselves. And so, what color analysis does is it really just puts it in perspective that the colors you wear are just as important, for you. It may be something that you're wearing that's really making you look good, but that same color would make me really look bad, and it would make me look really older and tired. But that same exact color for a person who it does work for, it can be one of their best. But
So,
no,
I blame peer pressure.
oh yeah, oh yeah. We see it on someone else who's like, oh, that dress is so pretty. But yeah, and I don't know. I talk about it with my customers. For some reason, I even remember as a kid, like, oh, I don't have a red shirt. I need a red shirt. Like we thought we needed one of everything.
Mm.
And then it's like, oh, okay, well, you don't have a red shirt. Let's put that on your list. And it's like, but really, the red shirt could be one of my worst colors, but it's fun. You'll see it, and everybody will see it once it's explained to them. And it's almost like, I don't know how you felt after, but it's almost like, why didn't they teach us this so many thousands of dollars
Right.
ago?
I could have saved a lot of money. And I was gonna say,
Yeah.
like, so I had a color analysis with Gretchen, and it was something that I've been wanting to do for a while. And since the opportunity came, I took the opportunity and I got to know Gretchen well. But let's look it in terms of how marketing, right? How the fashion industry markets to people out there, whether or not it's female or female in terms of, oh, okay, it looks great on the model without considering that it could look different from somebody of as you talked about, different hair color, skin type, eye color, or background itself.
Right. Because our eyes are always scanning our environment. We want to see harmony. And I mean, when it's the old adage of like, if you're out there and there's a parking lot full of white cars and there's one red car, you're going to see the red car,
Mm,
where it's like there's certain things that we're wearing that are just that distracting from us. And that, like, when we wear it, it's all people can see. And so they don't see us, they don't see, our eyes, they don't see our smile, and they're just seeing the outfit that we're wearing. And as I say, I think of it too, kind of like if we decided we were going to you decorate your house, you would instinctively know once we picked a color scheme what to do. And so really color analysis is teaching the person what is their color scheme. And then it just
absolutely.
kind of clicks after they see it that way. So I now have some slides to show you on yours. I think we looked at
Okay.
like, your
So
room's a different room than my room. We're decorating
right.
different.
So at the moment, we're stuck on a presentation, which I completely forgot about, but you guys have been seeing my face on presentation for a while. So let's go straight
Okay,
to it. Let's look into the concept between, because you already have the slide out, right? And I
let's see.
forgot that we weren't on it already. So the slide, let's go back to the gold and silver, because that was a question that I asked you. And some people are like, I don't know, like I'm gonna just get gold and silver. So let's look at that with my very untouched face, as this is the second time you guys are seeing it. The last time you guys saw it is with Tita with the makeup. This is going to be different in terms of the color. So let's look at this, guys. YouTube, look at
Yeah.
Lorraine without makeup. Okay. All right. So
Yeah.
talk us through the process of how to identify the difference between how, for me, an example, the gold and silver.
Okay, well, this one actually is my gray camel, but we do have gold silver here too that I will show. But either way, what I'm looking for when I put the different metals next to someone's skin of its different colors is I'm looking at temperature and seeing what temperature of color does the skin respond better to, meaning like do you look better when I put the warmer colors next to your skin, which are the colors that are going to be more of a yellow base, or do you look better when I put cool colors next to you, which is more of your blue based? And you can see right
Mm,
here the picture of you. What I look for is I look for what's happening under the person's eyes. Now, on yours, you can even see the shape of your face is much flatter and more round in the gold. And that I'm getting a really nice lift in the jawline right here when I'm putting you in silver. It's the same exact picture. All I did was duplicate and move it over. But
right.
I'm
So
seeing
I'm
that.
hearing, and I'm going to point this out because I'm hearing that you said that we can shave the weight instead of having to lose weight. We can shave our
Yeah.
weight
Yeah.
by having the right color,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yeah, it definitely where I see it a lot on people is the shape of their face and their jawline. And if you could see, yeah, on you right now, we're getting the higher cheekbone, we're getting a higher jawline in the silver. And just
Mm.
an overall, if you can see it as good as I can at that, you just look a younger and happier and just more vibrant. Where in the gold, you look a little less and you just
I'm
look a little
I'm
more
drawn
tired.
more to the goal shining rather than the person in the middle of the goal. I think it is for
Let's
this.
look at it in camel and see if that helps you, because then camel and gray are two that the industry tells everyone we can wear,
Yes.
and it's not. You're either going to look good in camel or gray, but you're not going to do well in both. And so look at the face shape for you here in camel versus what's happening to your face in the gray.
Mm. Okay.
Again,
So without going too much in detail, because we had a very long session and we could go on and over like longer than we would. So explain to the listeners out there, because you explained about the four different kinds, right? The summer, autumn, winter, and spring kind of colors. So
right?
if you could explain it in terms of what is can we consider, right? The spring,
Okay.
yeah, just the
Well,
four.
here's warm colors with you, and the warm seasons are the springs and the autumns. And so I'm putting your head on top of these warm colors here, which are the earthier colors, I call them, versus
Mm,
putting you in cool colors, which is summer and winter. And these are going to be more, jewel tone, vibrant blues, pinks. And so just even here that do you harmonize better with the cool colors or do you harmonize better with the warm colors? And going and looking back. Now, I mean, I can't see the face shape, but I can see the harmony and balance. And what I mean by that is like if I were to walk up to you and you had on these colors, I have to choose whether I look at your shirt or do I look at your face. I can't make myself see you all connected like I can here, especially if I move you a little bit here. And that here, if I was talking to you, I don't have to pick. I can look at you and just see the whole picture
Mm,
versus this, we call it in color analysis, where it makes the head float on top of the color, where it's not harmonious with the person. But it all goes back to that just first question is whether you look better in warm colors or cool colors. And that's just the first part of the equation. And then I look at other aspects like how much contrast you have, and then how, if you look better in dark colors, light colors, muted colors,
mm,
bright colors. And then for you, what we found is that, like, want to go back to decorating, is that your room is basically this really high contrast, cool black and white room. Um, if we equivalate it to, something that we can understand, like decorating. And
mm.
so because you have that really dark hair, the light skin, you have high contrast, and then I've determined you look better in the cooler colors. And so then if I tell you this is the room that we're dealing with, when you go shopping, you would know that that camel chair is just going to stand out like a sore thumb and no one's going to see you. And all we're going to see is your camel coat
All
and
right.
your camel
So,
trench coat.
so those of you that are interested in dating me, this is my dream place, and remember the color.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna unshare for a moment because I want to talk about the backdrop that you have at the moment with yourself. So I'm just going to,
Okay.
um, oops, if we can stop the unshare, or I think
Oh,
you
I
can
can hear.
yeah,
I
yeah. Can you
can
stop the
hear.
share? Because
Yeah.
yeah, yay, we can see Gretchen. Okay, so Gretchen and me instead of the slides. All right, Gretchen, let's talk a little bit about yourself because you've got a lighter hair color than I am. So at least people can see the difference between the two. So you look so much better in that kind of tone compared to me wearing those tones. So explain to us on the colors that you chose for yourself very briefly.
Right. Because I have what we consider, well, first of all, I have warmth because I have a lot of
Mm,
gold and red in my hair. And then I have what we consider low contrast because if you were to put me in a black and white photo, my skin and my hair would not look that different. Like yours looks very high contrast. And so that tells me I'm not going to look good wearing high contrast combos. I'm going to do good wearing colors that are really close together, similar, and more soft and muted. And so that covers like the colors, the palette, I mean, the patterns,
mm.
versus you, because you have high contrast. So, of course, if you can even kind of try to imagine me in the outfit you have on right now, it's not good to put me
I'm
in
told.
black,
I'm
white,
like,
red.
okay, she's gonna
Okay.
say something about this.
Yeah. It would do that. You wouldn't see
Yeah,
me. You would just see the red and white and the black, where with you, it's
yeah.
just continuous and harmonious. But so I'm considered a soft season and warm, and you are a clear season and you're cool. And so
So
we're
which means
really
that I have to
totally
change my
opposite.
backdrop now since it's
Yeah,
brownish.
yeah, get the camel maybe a little bit gray or something instead, because the camel looks a little warm. But yeah, and it's just all that about like, I don't know if it shows here, with me, my backdrop, but so no one thing's jumping at you. Like,
Mm,
oh, look at that sofa, or, oh, look at that chair, because it's all in harmony. And
mm,
if everything's in harmony, we don't see just one thing. Hopefully today, my lips are a little chapped. So you may see my lips, but normally if you have the right lipstick on, people aren't going to see that either. The right glasses. And so we're talking about what's on your face, around your face, close to your face. And
mm,
so like what are we framing that person's head? And then really you saw with you and with me that I'm just mimicking it almost once I know the undertone. And
mm.
so because I'm
And
soft, because I'm
right.
warm, I look better soft and warm.
So to dress in the right colors actually elevates someone in terms of the branding, which means that their consumers can focus on the message that they really need to hear rather than, ooh, something's wrong or that dress is sticking out more than the person. Am I correct to
Right.
say?
Right, and but that is fashion, and so you will once you kind of get a basic understanding of color analysis, you start realizing that sometimes it is on purpose that the designers are putting these movie stars in the wrong dress because they want you to see the $20,000 dress. They don't
Mm.
want you to see the person, at that, and that is how you would do it. So fashion is I walk up and, oh wow, Lorraine, I just love that dress. And then color analysis is, Lorraine, you did something different. You sure look good lately.
Fair, fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we
Okay, so
see just that,
I got to ask this question because this is something that some people may have, right? So it's let's say someone of my okay, so a couple would marry, right? And they're like different skin tone, different perspective.
mhm.
How would they design a house because they are both different in
But
terms of the
that
color?
for me, I mean, if they really want, I think we instinctively are drawn to the right colors, but some people, are real plain and don't like to really decorate and they like minimal um, stuff. So I don't know that it really translates directly, but there's always going to be something in common that you have. Every season has something in common with every season.
Mm,
It's where there are always going to be, characteristics of things that you can meet and come together. And we have colors that we consider universal.
mm.
And so there are some colors that we say no one's going to look bad in them and it's going to work, for most people. And
So
so,
what's a universal color that people can consider?
I mean, the one that's my favorite is teal, and it's going to be Pantone 20, not Pantone, but the other big color person just announced it as 2026's color of the season for the spring. And so we should be able to see a lot of it. And so teal is one that, for advanced reasons, it's in every palette.
Mm,
So every palette does have teal, and then it's that value chroma of which teal. So you may wear it bolder and more clear, and I'm going to wear it softer, but we both can wear teal. And then
right.
another one is turquoise. Everyone has a version of a turquoise they look good in.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
The blue
Okay.
greens are real friendly. It's mainly it's those camels, the grays, the orange, the pinks, those types of colors where no, you're going to either look good in them or you're not.
So,
But
for someone to post out there, you have to use this color, as in it will elevate you. I'm assuming that that is wrong now that I know you, because it really depends on who the person is wearing it, isn't it? It's not so much
yeah,
of this is the color to look luxury because there's no really a definition in terms of this will make you look luxury. It's more of what helps you stand out rather than this is a luxurious color for someone to choose.
where do you look the most put together and the most simple, really? And I hear a lot of my customers will give that expression of like, oh, I look like old money.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
get that whole look going on them and they're like, oh, I didn't know I could look like this. But
Yeah.
it's that it all works together. So it's getting them in the right hair color. That's super, super, super important. Um, a lot of times people start playing with their hair before they know it. They've changed their season, and then now they're never going to feel good. They're going to
Mm,
always feel disconnected. But yeah, once you get their hair, the skin, the lips, and the clothes all in harmony, we all look sophisticated and
mm.
elegant.
So,
You
for
know,
example, so the current trend today is we all know Ariana Grande because of the movie Wicked, right? And she was originally a darker haired lady compared to now with being blonde because of the movie Wicked. So, I think a lot of people, there's a lot of videos out there or TikToks that are comparing between the two. And I think she's leaning more to looking better in a darker hair color comparatively. If you
yeah,
know who, yeah.
Ariana's one that there is a lot of argument about, even amongst color analysts. My method, which is color match method, give my little brand a plug. It is called color match method, but in my brand, and the way I teach it is that there are other aspects. Like it might be that her hair's too light or too dark. It might be that it's too warm or too cool, but it definitely will make a difference. Now, I won't do some of the celebrities just because of all the controversy.
Mm.
There's certain ones out there, it's just not worth arguing.
True.
Yeah.
True. But I
But
think
yeah.
it's like they're trying it out, right? So it's like sometimes I used to have like lighter hair color, but that was in my own experimental years too. And I never felt comfortable in the lighter hair color. So now it's like, okay, you know what? Just leave it darker. It doesn't really matter and it saves money and saves time anyway. So I think some people they need to kind of go through it to realize no, it's not. Or you can save money and talking to you, the color expert, towards actually telling them what would really help in terms of matching. But let's this is a hard question. And the question is, what about those people that are color blind? How would you say they could they could do things without having the aid of someone like you?
Well, when you leave my session, you got that cute little book
Yeah.
that helps you, helps you find the colors and helps you stay on track. I don't know if you have yours with you. I have one in the back I can grab. But I do give people tools and I give them, digital versions of their palette that they can take
Mm.
with shopping. And I like to give a vision board to, to clients, kind of like their room or whatever, where I have little cliches for each season of what it is they're looking for,
But
where
my
each,
assumption is if someone is colorblind, they won't be able to identify whether or not something looks good or bad on them because they can't
well,
identify
no,
color, right?
they're going to be totally dependent on compliments and
Right. So I'm assuming like the best route for those people is to meet someone like you to give that palette or the booklet kind of thing. And
yeah,
then they can travel with it and ask somebody in person to go, can you choose me something of whatever color from this palette or from this
right.
booklet? Which
When
will be
it,
simpler rather than grabbing something that may look good in black and white in their opinion, or their viewpoint.
right. Now in the 80s, which okay, I was there then because this is from the 80s. It was huge and it was, very popular. But what I think too is back in the 80s that stores were smaller and they were on commission. And so the sales clerks did know this.
Mm,
They knew how to help people, where I don't feel like the clerks now know how to help you, where they're just going to sell you whatever you pick up. But no, this is cute. Oh, that looks great on you. Where
yeah.
back then, those women, they were like used car salesmen. I mean, they're coming at you like, oh, no, that's my customer. And then, okay,
Yeah.
I got the perfect dress for you. Where it was really, really, they knew you and they knew, what you look good in. But now it's just, like I say, no, you're at the mercy of fashion and what you see in, but there's just a lot of tools now because it has made a comeback.
Mm,
A lot of ways that, people are, I give little cards, I give little fans, I give a digital version. And
mm,
then for people who really want a lot of help, because I do get real specific requests like mother of the groom, mother of the bride, I'll do private shopping and Pinterest boards with them, where then I'll put stuff on a board for them and say, hey, go check your board out. I found some outfits I think you might like. I almost did that to you the other night because I found a coat. I was like, oh, God, she looks so good in this. It was
I have a
royal blue.
feeling. Yeah,
Yeah,
I have a
yeah,
feeling. All right,
yeah.
so people, if you're listening to this, Gretchen, she does things in absolute detail. Like I've seen her presentation; she was so prepared before I came, and she's even more prepared with today as well. So before we leave, I want to ask if you could share with us in terms of because before I came to you, it was a little bit overwhelming in terms of the colors and all the education part of things, and I just didn't have time for it, but what would be the basic thing to consider for someone new in this whole concept of color and could not care less in terms of spending hours and hours trying to figure it out?
Well, if you have a little bit of share, I can tell you, especially for a
Yeah.
person like
Can you
you,
share that very quickly? Yep.
yeah, is, especially someone like you, like what I had told you in the session was that if you can't be perfect, and do your colors perfect for somebody like you because you have high contrast, then it's important at least that we create some sort of contrast with your outfits, even if
Mm,
we're not perfect. And
yeah.
so I
That's
don't
not
know.
my body, y'all.
Okay, it's not, let's see, I'm not sure. But
I
can
got a
you
lot of
see,
work to do to get there.
so these are my little paper dolls, I call them.
Yeah.
But you can see like this green on you is not the greatest because it's so opposite of you. It's too muted, it's too light, and that you actually harmonize better just straight up black and white. And
Mm,
that when I look at you in black and white, I can see it as one, but in this little muted blue green, it is cool, but it's too light and it's too muted. And so
Mm,
if someone, once they learn this, well, then I'll tell you, then well, at least let's create some contrast with the outfit to where then, then we're at least going to match the level of contrast of you. And so that you can see if I at least add some buttons, do some things to the outfit to make it look a little bit, what I'm doing is bringing your hair color down versus
mm.
leaving it here where it's just so different than your head.
Okay,
And so
so in all is teal is the universal color for everyone. And did you say like white? No,
no, because warm people are going to look better in a cream, and then
cream.
cool girls are going to look better in a straight up white. And then you know it's the colors, but it's also how to layer them and how what you're putting close to the face. If you can see, like here, if I put you in just this pastel, it's so separating you versus your big deal is you need contrast because your head's contrasted. And so you're almost always just copying that person's level of contrast once you know their colors. But some people need that high contrast, some people don't. And you're a person that does, if you can see what I keep showing you with and without contrast, is how
Mm,
much better you look when we contrast you and that we put you in outfits that have contrast versus trying to put you in outfits that don't.
absolutely. Okay, so let's unshare that. So we have enough seeing me on somebody else's body for a while.
Hey, but today you did it. Look at you in black and white and red. That's
I know. I'm like, okay, what would Gretchen say? I better do this right. All right, so Gretchen, let's unshare that and then let's end this. Let's wrap this up. So if you see the way that Gretchen does my presentation and slides, she does an absolute detail work. So if any of you are interested in terms of being colored matched, by all means, please do reach out to Gretchen. She does spend like proper time. It's not like a cut and paste. I mean, it's a cut and paste, but
yeah.
in a way that it actually works for you. And if you want to learn about color matching, you also give classes, don't you, Gretchen?
Yes, I teach the color analysis, color match method too now, um, mainly in Raleigh, but my goal is to get it online. But right
Mm.
now it's an in-person class in Raleigh.
Absolutely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be putting down on the description and in terms of how you can get in touch to Gretchen, whether or not it's color matching or studying the concept of color. If you're in the field of fashion, that would be really helpful. But if especially when you're colorblind, that is also majorly helpful as well. But to elevate your brand of how you look and for your clients to be able to focus on what is important in terms of the messaging you have, whether or not it's on stage, video, or in person, do get in touch with Gretchen because she's a whole world of knowledge and she, as you can see, she's done a lot of work in terms of each client itself. All right. Other than that, if you guys are interested in this, if you guys enjoy this episode, please do like, subscribe, and share this. But remember, if you're listening on Spotify, I would advise you to look into YouTube so that you can see my still face without makeup on and a cut up body part of somebody else.
Paper doll.
Prima doll, that's right. But other
Okay.
than that, Gretchen, it was an absolute pleasure to have you on. And everyone, we shall see you on the next episode. Description all below. Follow and like Gretchen, and I should put all her details on.
Yeah, the color match method for the class and for the method. And then my little personal salon is called Color Me Beautiful. And so,
Absolutely. All right, everyone, I'll
all
catch you
right,
later.
thank you. Okay, bye.